Greetings and welcome once again to Writer's Blocked. I'm Douglas Paddock, your host. Now, you who have seen our shows previously realize that the thrust of these programs is to introduce and discuss with the guests what they have written in a new manuscript, which is generally as yet unpublished. We've had a wonderful time doing it. We talk about their writing, but we also talk about the difficulties, the travails of trying to locate an agent, trying to get publishers to look at our work. And it's an interesting experience, and I think we always enjoy it. Now, we have an unusual topic today, something that I have absolutely no familiarity with, although I've met the writer, whose name is, and I'll turn to him, Don Wortzman. Now, Don has written a book which is entitled The Gyroverse. Now, essentially, what he deals with in this book is something that he defines as the hidden structure of the universe. I'm going to quite immediately let Don explain, as much as you would care to, exactly what this is all about.
Okay, thank you, Doug. For one point, it's a unifying theory of relativity, quantum mechanics, and also cosmology. But the gyroverse is a play on these two words. One is the universe, and one is a gyroscope. Once I retired, one of the things that I do is I go to the bookstores and I buy a cappuccino in Barnes & Noble or Borders and look at the science area quite a lot. And as you're reading the books in science, you find out that nobody really understands how physics works. They can compute anything. They know the answers to all the problems, but if you ask how it actually works, even the simplest thing, they cannot tell you. Gravity, for example. No one can tell you why this cup falls down. What is actually doing the pulling?
Well, I think it's a plot. I think gravity is a plot against mankind. I don't know who originated it, but I know that I can't keep... everything I ever handle drops and so on. And as far as physics is concerned, again, you know, in school that was never my subject any more than mathematics was. I would imagine then, since you spent a lot of time in bookstores looking for books that relate to your field, you must also have haunted libraries and been very appreciative of them.
Yes, I go to libraries also, but I like the bookstores actually better for two reasons. One is buying cappuccinos, and so it's a very nice atmosphere for that. And the other is they tend to have more of the latest books right there, so you can actually see them.
Well, I can appreciate during the progress of your work, who do you, if anyone at all, do you share your work with?
You know, that has been the major problem, that it's very, very difficult to find anybody who will talk to you about it. One of the things that I've done is I would go to Columbia, because we're near Columbia and NYU, the physics department, and try to get to speak to professors there, and for the most part, they won't talk to you. I mean, they're polite and everything. I have found one who claims he's going to read the book and get back to me, but so far has not done it.
Now, your work, it seems to me, doesn't deal so much with individual humans as much as a much greater picture, much greater spectrum, you know, the world, the as you call it, the universe, and so on. But are there, and because I've not had a chance to read your entire book, of course, are there people involved in an intimate, specific way? Are there persons around whom these stories revolve?
Well, there are people in the sense that when I cover some particular topic, there are people who have worked in that area, and so I might quote them or I tell what they have done in that particular area.
Yeah.
So in that sense, there are people. But in terms of the material of the book, you know, the theory, there are no people involved in the...
Yeah. Yes, in my book, are there writers in the field who you feel you particularly look for their work or savor their work?
Yeah, I would say Richard Feynman. He died about, I guess, in 1988, I think he died. And he was one of the modern physicists. He was very popular in the Challenger disaster. He found, or was on TV and became a personality about the O-rings that failed. And he had a demonstration to show how when you froze it and they dropped it, they broke. And that was what caused the problem. But the thing that was unique about him is that he was so good that he was able to admit publicly what he didn't know. And so he was very down to earth. And I find his books, of course he can't write anymore because he's not alive, but he's written quite a few books. And of all the books I've read, I've liked what he wrote, probably the best.
Actually, we've seen and we continue to see a lot of the television talk show personalities who have writers of diverse subjects, although I've never seen yet, I don't follow them daily, I've never seen yet a writer being interviewed doing the sort of thing that you do. It's either a celebrity who's talking about their life and the films they've made or
Right.
the political background that they've had. Is there an opportunity for that kind of exposure for yourself?
Well, actually, I just started another book, which is a fiction book.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of a sci-fi conspiracy theory book. So I do plan to, once I got this bug, I do plan to try my hand at this and even another book.
It seems to me, again, from what I've learned about your work, you seem to be pretty positive about what you write because you've done the research. But at the same time, are there, as I think with other writers who somewhat like what you do, opportunities for you to decide that you are going to try to debunk certain scientific theories? Are there certain scientific theories that you have taken serious issue with?
Oh, definitely. Actually, if you read, since I describe the universe, how it works, it is in conflict with some of the scientific theories. And so in the book, I go through which things I disagree with, and so there are things that I disagree with. Mm-hmm. However, most of the things I do is not, see, the equations that they have today in all the physics theories, if not exactly right, are very close to being right because they work. So there's no question that they're right. The major thing they don't have is how things work. And this is where I'm filling in a piece of the theory that's not there. But it does lead to some spots where I find some conflict, and I describe it in the book.
Again, you've left me in the dark, but so we don't leave our viewers in the dark, let me thank you for having come here. We have to wind this up and tell them that there will be a title card with the address and the location of our studio, so that if anyone wishes to contact us, they can do so. Again, this is Writer's Blocked. I'm Douglas Paddock, your host. I look forward to seeing you next time. And Don Wortzman, I'm immensely grateful to you for having come. And I do hope that there's an opportunity perhaps for us to continue our conversation on this subject at another time. And maybe by then will have had a chance to read a little bit more and be a little more prepared host. Thanks again.
Well, thank you.
Again.